Hello everybody, welcome back. I'm going to continue on with our Qeynos Badge Quest. I'm positioned in front of the interrogator in South Qeynos. Let me open up the wiki just to have it ready for reference. So the way this works is we're going to talk to the interrogator. I'm going to hail him and I'm going to ask him, I'm going to say, he says, I see you wish to become an investigator. Okay. And he's going to take you to a guy named Theodore. We're going to try to interrogate him, and I'm going to punch him and then hand him a confession document. He's then going to lead us to some ruins. We're going to find some guys we have to fight. We'll have to hand in a signed confession document and 2 heads. I'm really hoping I do all this correctly. It's a little tricky, and if you do things wrong in this game, it just kind of gobbles up and ruins your quest. So it pays to kind of be prepared for this. So let me just kind of review one more time the steps. Okay, so the interrogator for batch 3. So we have to get a confession document, check. Get investigator's badge, check. Interrogator's briefing at the interrogators in South Qeynos. So we're going to turn in this interrogator's briefing to the interrogator. That's going to start this. And then escort interrogator to the house. We're going to interrogate Theodore. We're going to punch him. We're going to hand him confession document. He's going to lead us to the culprits. Okay, so let's go here. Start out with hailing him. He doesn't respond in any way. So we got to hand him this interrogator's briefing book. Here we go. I see you sometimes wish to become an interrogator. This is not a duty for the weak. This job requires interrogator and coughs, a little blah blah blah, a little muscle, I guess you would say. There's a man by the name of Theodore Xanthum who is a known member of the Bloodsabers cult. He fled to Qeynos some time ago, and we have been hot on his tail ever since. Hot on his trail or tail, I guess you could say. Okay, he says, we have tracked the man down and now know his whereabouts. However, we have bigger fish to fry today than just this lowlife. Okay, it's better things. Theodore knows the location of 2 other individuals all suspected of hiding out here in the plains. Okay. Blah, blah, blah. I gotta check out the thing. We have to say, take us to the location. I'm reading the thing. Where are we at? Interrogator. Follow me, creeps. Take us to the location is the one I have to remember. So he says that Holly and Cross, sickened as they were, removed themselves from the hills to weather out their illness and to keep the disease from spreading further. During their absence, the Bloodsabers were easily able to traffic in the materials needed to complete their terrible work. An interrogator shakes his head sadly and says tragically, Koss Treewind was attacked by one of them, the Sacred Bears, and was maddened by its illness and its weakened state. Cross was unable to defend himself and was killed by this defiled grizzly, one of the very creatures he was sworn to protect. Interrogator says, so our goal is to pry the information we need from Theodore Xanthum. Xanthum means rash again. So that we may bring these 2 fugitives justice. After getting to comply, you are to collect the confession from Theodore and have him lead us to 2 fugitives. Give me Theodore's confession and the head of these 2 fugitives, and you shall have your badge. I believe I know where we can find him. Please follow me. So we have to talk to him. I have to punch him once. I have to give him the confession document. I have to say, take us to the location. Follow him, put on my weapons, and kill these 2 guys and take their heads. It's a lot of stuff. And it's kind of making me nervous because I don't know if I'm going to do this right. So there's some of the dialogue I didn't read because I was just trying to make sure I know. So we're going to punch him. We don't want to use weapons because we don't want to accidentally kill him. He's going to get upset. We're going to stop. And then he's going to say, fine, follows creeps after I say, take us to the location. A bunch of worthless slugs. Okay. So we're going to the hermit's house. Man, I'm nervous about screwing this up. So what I plan to do after I get the jars and head back to Qeynos, I might just finish up this video without doing the last part of it, make this a 3-part series, and just fight some specters underneath Qeynos Aquaducts, since I'm going to be heading back in that direction. Okay, man, I'm so nervous I'm going to screw this up. I should have researched it a little bit more thoroughly. Okay, but I believe I'm going to do this right. Everquest questing system, I think, is very janky. That might be the word, janky. So here's a confession document. I already have the bag open. There's a Teshmas Knoll right here just wandering about. Okay, so we're going to punch him once when we have to rough him up. Man, this is a weird scripted thing. Here he is. And his lordship, Antonius Bell, I order you to come out immediately. Take us to the location. Do we just do that now? Do I have to punch him? Okay, there he starts talking. I think you've been breathing in the air of northern plain of Qeynos for too long. I will most certainly not tell you anything about the whereabouts, much less lead you right to them. You are not right in the head. Vile beast, you are withholding information of 2 men guilty of terrible atrocities, not in the least of which is causing the death of one of Qeynos' most respected and well-known citizens, Cross Treewind. As interrogator, I'm authorized to use a physical force if necessary. Things are getting heated. What a joke. I'm not telling you a thing. You don't look like you could scare a moss snake. I'm not afraid of you. Uh-oh. We're going to get ready to punch him. I'm going to slap him without a weapon. I'm not afraid of you. Take us to the location. So he said again, we commanded him. His eyes wide with shock. Ow, he says nervously. So we're kind of like demanding. Or I'll turn you over to my friend who appears to be much stronger than I am. So he slapped him or something. Oh yeah, right. Like I'm afraid of that moron or something. Theodore looks over at me nervously. Let's do this. Well, I'm getting tired. Why don't you hit him for a while? Maybe we can... Let's do that. So I hit Q. Oh, it automatically stopped attacking him. Alright, stop hitting me. The location. Fine, follow me, creeps. Okay, we did it right. Put on our weapons. Things will get heated. Alright, we have to kill 2 guys and get their heads. I didn't give him the signed confession document. Do I have to give him the signed confession document? Because I didn't do that. Oh, crap. I was supposed to give him the signed confession document. I might have screwed it up, guys. Oh, we did it while we were moving. Ha ha ha. I'm surprised it still worked. This is one of those quests that seem to still work whenever you do things not quite in the right order. So I was supposed to give him the confession document before I said take us to the location. Oh god, why is that knoll there? That's not good. There they are. The fight begins. Oh, I should have put in... I should have buffed myself up first. All right, we're doing okay, but this is actually a pretty close fight. I'm down to 80%. Oh my gosh. Got them down to 60, but they've got me down to 80. So I should have had my buffs up. Oh my god, they got me down to 70. So he's still summoning more things. I summoned minion. Alright, we're doing good. We got him down. And I'm level 43, by the way. With decent gear, so... if you try this, beware that it might be strong. The minions are still attacking me? Why isn't the other guy attacking me? At least they didn't double team me, I guess. We'll kill him and take the head, and then I'll kill the other. So I'll heal myself and put up Call of Sky after I fight this. If you're low level, you might need to use friends to help you do these parts. Like if you were level, say, 30 or so. I wouldn't try this. Okay, let's give ourselves Call of Sky. Shield of Thistles for all the minions. Come on, quick. Got the head. Find Still Spear. Little baby Wraiths. Check it out. He was green though. But he did do, it looks like... wow, he's got me down to 80% already. He's green though. Wow, this is very interesting. He's got me down to 74%. Down to 70%, 68. He's a serious undercon. And he's summoning more wraiths as we fight. So I've got Heat Blood on, down to 52, 53%. And these things do not desummon after you kill the main guys, so... yikes. Look how many there are. Serious undercon, guys. Got, looks like 5 more. Down to 50% life. The dot is still taking me down. What really helped out here was Shield of Thistles, because every time they're all hitting me, they're all taking 9 points of damage. So I got good value out of that spell. Glad I put it up. I still could have won without it, but it would have been closer than I liked. So they put a difficulty check before you can complete this side of it. Solium says, out of character, nobody loves me. Alright, let's get the head. Yes. Alright, so we did the really cool part of this quest. As someone said, I can't remember his name, in my comments, this is one of the very good, excellent, classic Everquest quests. So you get a little bit of gold off of each of these. Kind of cool. These as well, you get some gold. Surprised how many I killed. So anyways, let's head north now. There's the Interrogator. Do I need to do anything else? Okay, now I got to give him the head. Turn the heads in the thing. Okay. And man, they had to have that Teshnal right there next to us. Theodore's confession, the 2 heads. Yes, we got the badge, guys. Let's take a look at it. I'm going to head northwest, auto run while I check it out. Let's throw up the tracking skill to see if anything interesting is in zone, particularly Quillmane or anything. Nope. All right, so here's the badge. It's called Interrogator's Badge. AC of 2, Strength of 2, Wisdom of 2, Intelligence of 2, Agility of 2, Hit Points of 10, Mana of 10, all race, all class. Alone, it's a nice item, but it's not the final one. We're going to get one more that's better. It's a really confusing quest, so I'm not going to do it on this video, but I'll do it on the next video. But we'll head over to Qeynos, and I'll end the episode by checking out the specters under the Qeynos Aquaducts, maybe even kill a couple of them. That's the hard part, because that was the part that required fighting. The next part just requires a little puzzle, and every time you trigger the quest, there's not like a... it's a different pattern that's randomized each time, so you have to do it right. Just be aware of that. And so it requires us... There's going to be some poisoned rats on the ground, and we have to use 3 different jars to cure the rats. And you do it in 3 different steps. And I'll explain it further as we do that part of the quest. So I'm just very happy that I've done this quest correct so far, because it seems very easy to mess it up. All right, let's check around in the area on tracking. Still some dark greens in the zone. All right, let's head more of a north direction now. That's northwest. That's north. All right, so I have to do quite a bit of running. We're gonna have to go through the West Qeynos, and man, it's already 12:30 at night. So I'm doing this quest very late. I've got a Nightfall's giant head. Where did this come from? I don't think that's part of this quest. So let's separate the things. This is my quest bag. Ooh, I've got a lot of stuff on me. Darn, I got a lot of stuff. Okay. Well, anyways, this is a quest bag, and here's our jars. Let's keep it all together so we don't lose any items. So there's these jars that are numbered. Live Enchanted Rat, jar 1. So we're going to turn them in 1, 2, then 3. 1, 2, and 3. Let's just keep them all in the right order, just to prepare ourselves for the next part. And so as you place the enchanted rat jars next to a diseased rat, all the diseased rats in the adjacent tiles should be cured. You have to cure all the rats. And the way you do it is you place one of these enchanted rat jars in an empty tile that's next to the diseased rats, and it opens up a trade window. You trade with that empty tile, and then I think you cure the rats. So there's several empty spots on the ground, and as you cure all rats by placing the jars down next to the rats, you complete the quest, and it says you are worthy, and then you get your final badge. So the next part of this quest that requires to kill Bittlebits in West Qeynos. At level 43, I don't think I could have killed her. So you're going to need help, and that's what happened to me. I got help. I was out in West Qeynos fighting the Cyclopses and Hill Giants, and then a player came by and just happened to be when I attacked Oodlebits, helped me kill Oodlebits, and then after that happened, I looked up the information about the quest, and that's what led me to doing all this stuff. So just happy chance that I've discovered this quest, and it's one of the fun things that I've done in Everquest so far. Just hope I complete it correctly. Okay, so now I'm back in Qeynos Hills. Almost made it back to Qeynos. And we're going to go through the sewers. And I'm going to try to find my way to the Spectre camp. It might be easier just to go to South Qeynos. And then from there, just kind of go under the arena. And I know it'll take you right to the spot. So I just want to make sure I'm not going to get attacked by any of the NPCs that are on the underground area. I think I'll go that route, but the backup plan is to go through the Qeynos Aquaducts, through one of these side entrances. There's a side entrance at the castle, just to the left, and then you can jump in by the pub, Crow's Pub or Tavern. And then you can go by the bank. There's many different routes of entry. And so there's a safe passage for dangerous people to go into the dangerous areas and converse with the shady merchants and guild masters. So I know my way around Qeynos very well. And I find this learning new cities in Everquest is challenging, but once you learn the layout very well, even years later, I think 4 or 5 years later, if you were to pause playing the game, you'd quickly stimulate those old memories and reinforce them, and it all comes back to you. So there's the interrogator again to start the quest. I need to check like an experiment out, because I noticed when you turn in the first part you get a small bit of experience. I wonder if it moves your experience bar at all, because you could just repeat that, I'm sure. And it might be an easy way to get early XP as a new character, even though it's not difficult at all to get your first couple levels, even with garbage gear. All right, we're finding our way into the Qeynos Aqueducts. Let's be careful. I'm higher level, so it's not as dangerous as it usually would be. I should have refreshed Spirit of Wolf before I came down here. A lot of your nature buffs won't work. But some of these evil characters just might not like me because of who I am. It does scowl at me. And there's an NPC that wanders through here who might destroy me. Yep, he wants to attack me. And there's a wandering NPC around here that will also attack me. And there's the specters. Here we go. 2 of them. So I need to run away. I need to approach the camp from a different angle. And let's run since our Spirit of Wolf is about to run out. They've slowed me down. Or no, actually, it wore out. Can I get myself Shield of Thistles? No, I cannot get it off. Okay, so we're not going to be able to fight these this way. They've got me down to 58% life. Just in case anything crazy happens, let's run. So let's go in through a side entrance. If I'm able to pull singles, I think I can level down here. There's a good zone experience modifier. Technically it's a dungeon, but not really. And that way, I think this will be a better camp, Spectre camp for experience than it would be just say fighting in the Firot. But this isn't as easy to approach because those specters are just clustered together. Makes it difficult. All right, let's throw up that Spirit of Wolf. See, I could have had a skin like Still Up. I could have had Shield of Thistles active. I should have done a lot of those things before I tried to fight him. But let's run to the bank and let's get rid of this extra platinum. You couldn't go down here. Maybe we can find our way through that side. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull up the Qeynos Aqueduct map. All right, here's our platinum stash. Very good. And let's get rid of some of these items here because I have a ton of things I don't need. I'm going to sell this. Let's sell this as well. And the Lambent Stone and this. So we got some items to sell to clear up our space. Excuse me. I don't know my way from the Qeynos entrance, so let's just get ourselves there. And let's say for the last part of this quest, let's find the NPCs to get started. And I believe you do it over by the Paladin or Cleric Guild. So let's find the NPCs. I'll hold off on fighting specters, but that's what I'm going to do after I finish this quest. Because I would be interested in doing the specter quest down here. Alright, so here we go. I'm going to read up on the quest. I believe I saw screenshots where it was done right here. Okay, so there'll be a bunch of rats on the ground. And let's pull up the quest dialogue. So we're at the third part of the quest, and this says level 40 plus because it requires you to kill someone. And they're very tough. So even at level 40, you couldn't do it. You start out by finding Vigils, Keldrain, and you say, by the order of Council of Qeynos, I have been given the duty of apprehending the individuals responsible for unleashing the terrible plague upon the people. Let's actually go find this NPC. So this name is very similar to the guy we need to talk to. That's a confusing part of this. Let's make sure we start at the right spot. So we're already in North Qeynos, and I think this guy is above the gates of Qeynos. So to get above the gates, we go right through here. Yes, that's him. All right, so let's find the dialogue again. We have to say, you just hail him. Let's go and do that. By the order of the Council of Qeynos, and then the keyword is responsible. I will apprehend who is responsible. Let's see if that triggers it. He says, the plague unleashed upon the plains of Karana is the work of the followers of Bertoxilus. Those responsible belong to a group called the Blood Sabers, though there were others involved as well. Some time back, they launched a plot to overthrow Antonius Bell and our ruling council. Their plan failed. How did their plan fail? Question mark. What plan? Their plan was to unleash a plague so deadly and virulent that it would wipe out all life from here to High Pass Hold. They planned to brand themselves and their foul allies with a rune that would have rendered them immune to the effects of this plague. From that point, they would have been able to simply walk in, easily defeat the weakened stragglers, and declare themselves the rulers of this kingdom by default. But they were careless. I'm just going to do careless with the question mark. The sudden influx of scoundrels and loathsome individuals was our first tip-off. They required a rather enormous number of supplies, materials, and manpower to construct the ornate altars, craft and enchant their runed branding irons, and supply their armies with the weapons needed for the cleanup work afterwards. They need to rely upon outside help. Outside help. He says they mostly chose to hire bandits and brigands who are foolishly more concerned with immediate profits than the long-term effects of their actions. But once they knew we were onto them, they even started hiring some of the more civil gnolls. If there is such a thing, gnolls tend to be easy to push around, stupid, and they work very cheaply. They knew their time was short and they were desperate. Choosing to work with untrustworthy, lazy scoundrels caused the whole thing to begin to unravel. Praise Rod said. Okay, so we say unravel. He says, their workers were careless. Aside from noticing the unsavory element in our city, our citizens began to run across many of the strange items and materials that were being trafficked into our city en masse. It was at that point the citizens began to complain quite loudly about all this. I'm just going to say complain. Obviously, they questioned the meaning behind these events, and rightfully so. They were frightened much as they were now. They were frightened much as they are now. I admit I was remiss in my duties for not noticing it sooner. One of the biggest complainers during this time was a man by the name of Aaron Hootland, proprietor of famed Lion's Mane Tavern. Though he was just a simple merchant, he did us a great service. And I say Earron Huntlun. Aaron is quite a character. He gets all kinds of travelers stopping by his inn for a drink or whatever his other business. His patrons started telling stories of being mugged and harassed by these loathsome individuals in the very streets of our fair city. Of course, he was concerned. So he became a kind of advocate for this cause, ringing the alarm bells, as it were. I admit, at first I did not believe the conspiracy. I simply could not believe it was all happening under our nose. What alarm? Well, he succeeded in whipping the populace into a frenzy. He even got famed wizard Alcabar to help him out by determining the nature of the strange items many of our citizens were finding. Getting that man to do anything not directly related to his research is not an easy thing to accomplish either. Needless to say, at that point I saw the truth, and the prime healer forgive me for not seeing it sooner. Were it not for the investigations and general outcry of concerned citizens, we might not be standing here today. Concerned citizens. Yes, it was citizens like you that helped save Qeynos that day. We uncovered their plot, captured the man who was in charge, and put him to death. Ooh. Of course, the Bloodsabers retaliated by using their incomplete research, still managed to unleash the plague we face now. Though devastating in its own right, you must admit it is rather mild compared to what it might have been. I thank you for your interest. Perhaps you'd be willing to help me. Help you? He says, excellent. The more I learn from my investigations, the more I find these Bloodsabers have stretched their tendrils of influence all throughout our beloved city. Nevertheless, we are committed to exposing these fiends once and for all. Perhaps you would like to become an investigator. I would like to become an investigator. Very well then, Hux. We will not allow just anyone to wear official investigator badge, and please forgive me, but it is hard to tell where one loyalties lie these days. If you are truly very serious, and then there is a duty you must perform. First, show me you're on the side of Antonius Bell, the council of the good people of Qeynos. Good people of Qeynos, whatever. What is the trigger word again here? I didn't see it. Oh, I am serious. I'm serious. There's a guard by the name of Robbie Shilster that patrols the northern plains of Qeynos. He is allied with our enemies and complete corrupt. He is fragrant. His trafficking and contraband of goods. His orders by the guards. So this actually triggers the initial part of the quest. And this is where we go and start it by going to Shilster, killing him, and getting his head. Is there a... So this started the quest. Okay, so we're going to end this portion of the quest where you should have got the dialogue to start it. So basically, to do the next part of this quest, we go to him, and then you hail him, blah, blah, blah. Something about saying the research. So, well, I'll have to read up on it. And we'll complete this quest later. And then afterwards, I'll go fight specters. Because I'm really looking forward to finding a new camp. Spectre camp on the Qeynos Aqueducts. That's going to end this episode, guys. Thanks for watching. Have a great weekend. TGIF, guys.